Poseidon is known as the god of storms and the seas in the mythology of ancient Greeks. He is notable for his command over water, in addition to his immortality and enormous power. Still, the only thing that most people know about Poseidon is that he rules the waters. And there are a lot of facts and stories about him, some even shocking ones, that are worth knowing for anyone and everyone interested in Greek mythology. So, let's not waste another moment and let's get right into it. Number 10. The story of Athena and Poseidon. Once, Poseidon and Athena were fighting over control of a brand new city. Poseidon made the decision to provide the inhabitants with a river. As a result, water burst out when he struck the earth with his trident, enabling the people to go everywhere by sea. But Athena instructed the people to taste the water. As expected, they disliked the taste of seawater, and their perception of Poseidon changed. Following this, Athena sent them an olive tree that served three purposes: wood for construction, olives for eating, and oil for cooking. Athens was chosen as the populace's defender, and the city was named the City of Athens. This resulted in Poseidon getting enraged, and he unleashed a disastrous flood. Number 9. Poseidon devoured by his father. Poseidon was born to two mighty titans named Cronus and Rhea. Cronus ruled as king of the gods before the Olympians took the throne. He and his wife Rhea controlled the world after overthrowing their father, the god who is literally the sky, Uranus. While Rhea was carrying their first child, Gaia, the goddess who in Greek mythology stood in for the earth and made a prophecy. She predicted that one of Cronus' offspring would ultimately depose him, just as Cronus had done with Uranus. Out of fear, Cronus ate the infant whole when Rhea gave it to him. Hades had been that first child. Poseidon, who was born a bit later, was also completely devoured by his father. Along with his subsequent siblings, he stayed in his father's womb until Zeus, Rhea's final son, was born. She was successful in keeping him from being sucked up by Cronus. When he was older, he forced Cronus to vomit all of his siblings, including Poseidon. Number 8. Poseidon as the god of heroes. Poseidon and horses had a close relationship. He is credited for creating the first horse and giving it to humanity. He is also credited with instructing people in chariot racing and riding. He was sometimes described as the horse's trainer, but some stories also claim that he was their father. Some myths indicate that he married a monster who later gave birth to the first horse. Poseidon is commonly depicted riding horses with golden hooves over the ocean's waves. The winged horse Pegasus, which was the result of Poseidon's adulterous romance with Medusa, is the most well-known of the many horses that he fathered. Due to his close bond with horses, he was given the name Poseidon Hippios. Number 7. Poseidon children, monsters, and heroes. As already mentioned, Poseidon had many lovers. He had more than 70 children as a result of his multiple unions with various goddesses and nymphs. Some of them were other gods, like the wind god Aeolus and the sea messenger Triton. He also gave birth to mortal heroes, the most well-known of which was Theseus, the valiant ruler of Athens, and Orion, the greatest hunter ever, who subsequently turned into a constellation in the sky. He was also the father of Arion, the fastest horse in the world, and the enigmatic Despoina, a shape-shifting horse goddess who is closely linked to the Eleusinian mysteries and their worship. Polyphemus and Lestrigon are the man-eating monsters that he gave birth to, and they lived on one of the islands where Odysseus roamed. Number 6. Poseidon is the reason the Odyssey happened. All the Greek rulers sailed back home when the Trojan War was over. Odysseus also stopped at Polyphemus' island, the man-eating one-eyed son of Poseidon, by chance. He and his crew became stuck in Polyphemus' cave as they tried to feed from his sheep and vegetables, and, as expected, Polyphemus started eating Odysseus' men. Odysseus provided Polyphemus powerful wine and rendered him intoxicated in order to save those who were still alive. He was blinded by Odysseus while he dozed off. In a fit of rage, Polyphemus flung open the door to his cave, letting Odysseus and his men out. Odysseus gave Polyphemus his name, and the Cyclops wailed his blindness to his father, Poseidon. Poseidon unleashed a violent storm and strong winds in an effort to divert Odysseus from his intended voyage toward the island of Ithaca. Since then, Poseidon blocked Odysseus' attempts to return home while sending him to a variety of strange locations and thus creating the Odyssey. Number 5. Anger management. Poseidon is known for being one of the most irritable and avaricious Olympian gods. He was a fairly vicious deity who frequently kidnapped humans and dragged them down to his undersea realm, governed by the unrelenting waves. He is also called Dolphin's father. He incited violence among both mankind and gods in an effort to win their favor. He had been around from the beginning of time, when he emerged from chaos at the dawn of the universe. He was in charge of all that Zeus and Hera had created. Number 4. Story of his trident. The origins of Poseidon's trident were the subject of various urban legends. The most well-known version is that the three Cyclops crafted Poseidon's trident in Hesiod's Theogony. Three Cyclops, sons of Poseidon, formerly resided in a far-off region a very long time ago. They were powerful and put a lot of effort into crafting their father's trident from sunrise till dawn. The name of the oldest Cyclops was Brontes. Argus was the youngest Cyclops, while Staripes was the second. Poseidon used his trident to strike the earth in order to create a spring or well of seawater. He used it to slay a giant during the Gigantomachy. In one of the tales about him, the Battle of the Giants and the Gods, he used it similarly to break rocks and produce water sources. Number 3. Game of Dice. According to one version of the legend, Zeus, Hades, and Poseidon split the universe into its 3 halves by a game of dice. This was carried out in order to equitably provide each deity with a chance to rule a certain domain. In some versions of the legend, the 3 gods conducted a lottery to choose who would receive each kingdom. In the end, Hades received the underworld, Poseidon received the king, and Zeus received the sky. Number 2. God of Navigation. Poseidon was also regarded as a deity of navigation by mariners since the sea was his domain. Men at sea would frequently look to Poseidon for advice when they found themselves in tricky circumstances. And number 1. Poseidon felt more at home in the ocean than on Mount Olympus. Poseidon was one of the 3 ultimate kings of Mount Olympus, along with Zeus and Hades. However, he spent most of his time in his castle below the surface of the ocean. Zeus was the one taking full control of Mount Olympus. It is also claimed that Poseidon preferred living underwater over being surrounded by the other gods and goddesses of Mount Olympus. Well, we can definitely relate. Who doesn't like to live alone in your own world? Well, with this, we come to an end for this video. If you enjoyed watching it, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. And do let us know your thoughts on this one in the comments below. We'll see you next time. Until then, stay mythically mad.